Do it!
I went for a bike ride, trying to keep the weight down. Because I read somewhere on the internet, and it was typical research on the internet where you have a question. You Google it on the internet, and then immediately you click on basically the first website you find, you read it, and you just take that as law. That's what I do. So one time, I don't know how I came across this, but they said basically every pound of fat on your body is another 5 miles of capillaries that your heart has to pump, which is why even just being 5-10 pounds over can significantly decrease your lifespan. I mean, how would you like it if every day, right, you had to drive an extra 5-10 miles to work? That's probably not a big deal, but who's a pound overweight? Who's 2 pounds overweight after a certain age? Everybody's at least 10-15 pounds over. What's 15 times 5? Real quick, that's 75, people. What if you had to go an extra 75 miles to and from work every day? What kind of a mood would you be in? How much would your kids be running for their lives when you came walking up the door? That's what your heart is doing every time it beats when you're that heavy. Just that heavy. And then forget about these ticking time bombs that are walking around 30 pounds overweight, but they're still lifting weights. Dude, I'm all right. Touch my gut, dude. It's solid. Yeah, it's because your fat is calcified. It's so entrenched there. It has squatters right in front of your stomach, you dumb I love fat people who they're fucking fat, and then they tell you how hard their stomach is, and they think it's like abs. It isn't. It's the fat is jammed in there so tightly, like back in the day when they used to pack people into subways. That was literally a job. Your job was to just lean in on the people and pack them in. So all you fatties out there who sit there and your fucking stomach is harder than your head, that's not abs. That's not you like going, well, I'm so fat every time I do a sit up in bed, it's like I got a 45-pound, weight. That's what fat people think. They think. I know a lot of fat people right now, like, why are you always coming down on us? I'll tell you why, because there's Kick a Ginger Day, and I've never seen a fat person come to my rescue. You don't give a about me, I don't give a about you. That's how it works, fatty, with your swollen feet. I think these fat people with the hard stomachs, they feel like when they just sit up in bed and they make that noise as they go to sit up and they just they think that's why their stomach's so hard, rather than it's just jam-packed with syrup and nougat and pancake batter and all that other gooey shit. I'll tell you right now, I think they should just get all the fatties and just get them out of the country. You're bringing us down. We had it with your kind. They should stick all of you fatties on a an island. I want to run for political office at a very low level, preaching like what sounds like racism or nationalism, but it kind of affects everybody. Like there's fat people in every race, except Asians. There's very few Asians. Every once in a while you see a fat Asian and you just know he's hanging out with like Americans. You know what I mean? It's like there's no way you got fat eating that fucking great diet that you guys have over there. I don't know what it is over there, but like people are in fucking shape. I don't know about the Russians. All that vodka that they're sucking down. Yeah, I think they should just run for office. I'd get the fatties out of town. I'd get those fucking people, those people you say hello and they don't say hello back. They just smile, and it's a fake smile. I know I've talked about this in my podcast. There was somebody when I lived in New York used to do that, and I fell for it like the first 67 times. I'd be walking down the hall, and this lady, and I'd be like, hey, good morning, or hey, hello, or good afternoon, whatever the you say, right? Big fucking wave, hey! And she would always do the same thing. She'd tilt her head to the side like she was going, aww. And then she'd do this smile, which she wouldn't show any teeth, just like the Jay Leno smile, and then her eyes would like squint up like she was looking into the sun. And every time I was just like, oh, what if I just fucking punched her right in the face? Made her kids cry, and I just laughed. I didn't laugh. I just walked away, I'd still be affected. There'd be a part of my soul that I lost when I did it. But I'll tell you, in that moment, catch her right as she closes her eyes. And then finally one day she walked towards me and I was walking towards her. She actually started to anticipate me saying hello because we're looking right at each other and I'm in my head just going, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying hello till this bitch says hello to me. This is another thing that makes you die early is literally sitting in your apartment, your little ass shoebox of apartment in New York, plotting, scheming, conspiring. How you gonna fucking not say hello to this bitch the next time you see her? As you're eating a bacon, egg, and cheese and adding an extra couple of miles for you had to beat every couple of times, right? So anyway, she comes walking at me. I'm walking her. I'm like, I'm not saying hello this time. And we got right to the point where it's like, who's gonna blink? And I timed it perfectly. She anticipated me saying hello and she started to tilt her head. And I fucking did my impression of what she did. And I, of course, did it completely over the top. Like, I literally laid my head on my shoulders, squinted my eyes, And I made this ridiculous face and continued to walk, and she never looked at me in the hall again. And this is the genius of it. It's not like she knows what the she looks like. But you know what? It made me feel better.
And you know what? That's what this podcast is all about.